We are rocking and rolling. How have the holidays been for you, Bruce?
They've been awesome. I love the holidays.
You've been all over the country, of course. Where haven't you been?
Well, I haven't been in Texas lately or Arizona, so that's good, I guess.
That's coming up. Former Speaker of the House, former spokesperson for the Petroleum Association. Come on, don't you want to take a couple knocks at something right now?
I do, yeah.
Go ahead. Just get it off your chest. Don't get him started.
Well,
that's what we're going to call this.
Don't get me started.
Don't get him started.
Well, there's an article in the paper the other day, I think it was last week, talking about redistricting in the state of Wyoming and how the Republicans decided to redistrict, and that got rid of all of the women legislators. And that is totally erroneous. In 1990, the census came out, or was being done, and we were sued by the League of Women Democrat Voters that we had to go to a one-man vote.
Is that really
rule.
what they call themselves?
No, but that's what I call them, because they do represent the Democrat voters in the state of Wyoming. Anyway, so they won the lawsuit, of course, to do the one-man one-vote rule, because prior to that, we were always running as, if you had 8 legislators, 6 representatives from Casper, they ran as a group. And if you had 4 senators, they ran as a group. The top 4 got to be senators, and the top 8 got to be representatives, instead of each district picking one person. So that's what they wanted. So we had to do that for the first time ever, and it was I think my second or third year in the legislature. I was on the corporations committee, and we were tasked with doing that. So we had to go buy the programs and the equipment to do all of that and get the data from the Census Bureau and look at all the lines that the state had for districts, for wards and things like that, and precincts. And then we had to go in there and make sure that in each one that we drew, that you had a percentage of plus or minus 2.5, I think it was, percent. And so I think it calculated out at that time as about 7,500 people per representative, and about 15,000 per Senate district, because you combine 2 of those to equal 1 Senate district. So that was the first time we ever had to do that. So that meant that some of the little counties weren't going to get representation. Wasn't anything we could do about it, but they could run, and if they won, then they could represent both counties if they were from. So we did the redistricting. A lot of people lost their seats because of that, because they lived in the same district. And we had, at the time when I first went, it was, I think, 36 Republicans and 24 Democrats. So it was a good representation of Democrats in the state. And we had quite a few women. Where everybody was running into the block. As soon as we redistricted, a lot of people lost their seats, and because they lived in the same district. And they could run against each other, or they could not. Many chose just to retire. And that's how it all happened. It wasn't because we wanted to redistrict, it's because we were forced to redistrict. And when that happened, it changed the face of the legislature. We lost a lot of historical memory of how things are done there. We had a bunch of new people come in right after that next year. And I think my 4th year in the legislature, I was a chairman of the Minerals Committee, which that's unheard of back then. So it just changed everything and how it worked. We've had a lot of women throughout the years in the legislature, and I think one of the problems that they have is that the time commitment is large. And if you've got a family that you're raising, it's difficult, unless you live in Cheyenne or somewhere close where you can be home at night. So it's not because of the redistricting that the Republicans did that caused the problem. It was because of the lawsuit that happened that caused the problem. And the reporter that wrote this article failed to research it and find out the facts.
Don't get him started. He's Bruce Hinchey, former Speaker of the House. We wish you the best of holidays coming up.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
All right.
Happy holidays.
We are coming into the new year, and keep your eyes out for Casper One TV.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's awesome.
All right. Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.